Hey guys, so today we have a few stories to get through, but before we get into those, I just want to mention, just like in every video recently, that any petitions, donations, links to anything that you can use to educate yourself or do your part will be in the description down below. So yeah, if you want to kind of know where you can help or educate yourself on what's happening in the world, then that's where you will go. Social media links in description, along with my second channel on which I post me stuff, makeup stuff, life stuff, just anything that I think of. I literally just shaved my face yesterday, so if that's something you want to watch, then that's cool. Okay, so the first story for today is Micah Stauffer, which is a YouTube family vlogger type woman who has basically just a family channel. And one of her main selling points of the channel was the fact that she had adopted a child from China who had severe autism as well as reactive attachment disorder due to neglect by his biological family. And now she's actually rehomed him, which I know is basically just sounds like a puppy. It sounds like she adopted a puppy and then gave him away. What has actually happened is she abandoned him. She moved him to a different family because she wasn't able to cope with him, which would have been, I guess, understandable if she had not known the extent of his medical conditions. But she did, and she had all the money in the world to help him out. I mean, they did a house tour and her house is basically a mansion. And the thing is, she did multiple videos centered around him, which have become the most popular videos on her channel, which she has now taken down some of them. She's also done brand deals centered around her son. Well, not her son anymore, considering she moved him to a different house. They go on holidays to Bali. They have a mansion. She has designer clothes. I mean, I'm sure she has more than enough money to treat him and his medical conditions. And I'm pretty sure I've heard that in a video she mentioned that she will not pay for the most expensive treatment for him when she has all this money that she made from him. I think what should happen with the money is it should be put in some kind of a trust fund for him. Any money she made from brand deals centered around him, or any money that she made from the videos that were up on their channel centered around him, or any Instagram posts, etc., all of that should be put into a trust fund to help him out in the future with any treatment. But now, on top of that, CPS is actually looking into her other biological children and if they are a fit couple to take care of their biological kids. So that could end up, being more of a disaster than what is already happening. But also, what I also found is a phenomenon that I like to call misogyny. All the videos that I've watched so far, and I think I'm even guilty of it, because it's like you only hear one name in this whole situation, so you end up just, calling out one name. Everyone is calling out Micah, who is the mum, whereas the dad is also on the channel. He has his own channel as well where he cleans cars, and it's almost like people are not treating them as a couple and as if this was a couple decision. They're treating it as if Micah was the one that made the decision on her own, as if he is somehow not involved with that. I think some people are basically just putting all the blame on the mum, as if parents don't make decisions about kids together. It should be more like, oh, the Stauffer family rehomed the child rather than just her. I think we all just say her name because, she posts more on Instagram with the kids. She centered her whole career around the children, whereas he has a channel that is completely not to do with family life, and I think that's how he slips through crack. Also, misogyny. I find that on the internet nowadays, women tend to get away with a lot less than men in the same industries or in the same controversies. The biggest examples of this are the comparison between Jeffree Star and Laura Lee, or the differences between James Charles and Laura Lee. I feel like there is a lot more that men can get away with that women would never be able to get away with. The amount of times that men have been in huge controversies and still have a whole career intact, women will get torn apart for the smallest, most insignificant things. I mean, the fact that Jenna Marbles had to film an apology about buying a wrong fish tank by accident, or the fact that people said that she abuses her dogs because she tried a harness made for dogs. Men get away with so much more in this industry, and this is just such a telltale sign. I think they're both just as guilty, but we all as a community almost just call out the women so much more when there is obviously some guilt placed on him as well in this situation. I don't know, I just wanted to throw that in there because I think a lot of people are just ignoring the fact that he also was a dad. He also was a part of the adoption process. He also adopted this child that he then gave away. It wasn't just like Micah adopted him on her own, as far as I'm concerned. They both made the decision to adopt a child, and then they both made the decision to spend the money on a house and holidays instead of treatment for the child. But yeah, as I said, let's not forget about them both, because when they filmed that explanation video, it was the both of them. There is just more coming out about Micah right now because she is more the face of this family channel. Micah filed a copyright claim on Cat Black's video video on them. So it was like a copyright claim. I haven't received a copyright claim. I don't know anyone kind of that I talk to that has received a copyright claim from them, but maybe this video was more like critical of them and they just wanted to take it down. I don't know. But I'm just saying there have been copyright claims going around, and it is a way that big YouTubers try to deal with criticism, is copyright claim people, which then brings more criticism their way, which is so counterproductive. Anyway, I haven't received a copyright claim. My video is intact, so that's kind of where I want to be on that. Next thing, Jake Paul was recently charged with criminal trespassing and unlawful assembly because of him obviously being in that shopping center during the looting and protests. And he recently filmed a video basically explaining his side of things, and the video basically just went over him saying like, I've helped with donations before, I've done charity work before, as if, you know, that changes the fact that he was there to basically just film content. And he basically turns that whole video into a fundraiser which belonged to a different smaller channel. Then someone on Twitter tweeted out at Jake Paul saying, oh my god, I can't believe he already like managed to like get, I think it was $30,000 in 20 minutes of uploading the video, because when you go on the fundraiser it said 30,000 and the video was uploaded 20 minutes ago, so everyone put two and two together and was like, oh my god, his fans managed to like raise 30 grand in 20 minutes. And he went, I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. The tweet's now deleted, but that wasn't his fundraiser. So there was another YouTuber who made that fundraiser, and that video that he put the fundraiser on was trending. I think he's on about 600,000 and he managed to raise about 30,000 up until Jake Paul took over that fundraiser without giving credit to him. All his fans thought that it was Jake Paul's fundraiser that he started, whereas it was the smaller YouTuber's fundraiser that Jake Paul then took over, and it looked like Jake Paul had raised 30,000 when it was actually the smaller YouTuber. So he got called out by the YouTuber and said, hey, like, it's really nice that you're like using the fundraiser and stuff and you're trying to raise money, but the fact that your fans are saying that this is your fundraiser and you managed to raise 30 grand and you're not telling them otherwise, you're actually just agreeing with them, fully well knowing that this is not your fundraiser and it's not you that raised this 30 grand. It's concerning. Jeffree Star recently came at Dollskill, well, the owner of Dollskill, and he DM'd her, basically calling her like a stupid. He was like, how could you do this? And then he sent her another message, which he then unsent, and then sent her a new one saying, I hope you get shot in the head with a rubber bullet. Fully well knowing what's happening during protests and during people fighting for their human rights. The fact that you turn to someone because you don't agree with something they said and you threaten them with the exact thing that is making people go blind. Are you kidding me? And also the fact that, like, you know, Jeffree has a racist past, and I do understand that he's allowed to grow from it. He definitely is. The fact that he also does not have the cleanest past and he's so aggressive with other people when they make mistakes just blows my mind. And then Jeffree Star tweeted out saying, like, basically send me your favorite black content creators so I can like give them some love. And a girl actually quote retweeted that and said, so you can call them a gorilla, like at Jackie Aina, and Jackie Aina actually liked that tweet. So I guess if you guys needed confirmation that this actually happened, then here it is. Jackie Aina herself spoke out and said, yep, got called a gorilla. And this wasn't a long time ago. I'm pretty sure he called her a gorilla like 2 years ago, max 3. So, you know, for him to be getting so hard on the owner of Dollskill while he's got his own baggage, how about we don't? Wish started, I guess, like selling like counterfeit Jeffree Star palettes, and Jeffree Star responded to Wish saying, hey Wish Shopping, can you please take down and stop promoting and selling counterfeit Jeffree Star Cosmetics palettes and using my own images to sell it so low? I don't even want to know what horrible ingredients are in these products. And Wish Shopping replied saying, we take brand protection seriously and we are starting to investigate this report now. And then a day later, Jeffree Star tweets out saying, it's been almost one full day and you guys still advertising fake Jeffree Star makeup. Hi lawsuit, how are ya? I'm done letting these huge companies play with brands. Some people might have a go at him for, you know, like threatening lawsuits again, but matter of fact is, if you guys haven't seen the documentary by Marlena Stell called Broken, I'll put it on the screen once I find it. The first half of it, not half, like the first 20 minutes of the documentary is her talking about the beauty industry as it is, as it stands, like the way it's moved forward, like how it looks now versus a few years back, what companies are on top now, what companies used to be on top, trends, so on and so forth. And then actually, if you're not interested in Marlena Stell or what she has to say about the industry, you can literally skip the first 20 minutes of the documentary and move on to the second part, which is about counterfeit makeup and how much it is sold now, and the health repercussions of using counterfeit makeup that people have experienced. For example, when Kylie lip kits really blew up and everyone wanted Kylie lip kits, but they were being sold out super quickly, like within a few minutes they were all gone. Like now you can just get a Kylie lip kit if you really want to, but back then it was mayhem. People were trying to get them on like eBay and Amazon, and they thought that it was maybe just like people that bought the lip kits and are reselling them, and what they ended up buying was like super glue in a bottle and like their lips would get stuck together. It was insane, like the stuff on there. So the thing is, as much as like obviously I'm not a big fan of Jeffree Star, I can objectively look at a situation and be like, he's in the right here. The fact that Wish makes a lot of its money from counterfeit products scares me, because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that Wish sells counterfeit makeup. When they buy it, they're expecting to buy a certain product, and what they're getting is a whole different ingredient list, except most of the counterfeit makeup uses basically a carbon copy of the packaging of the original makeup product. So what that means is the makeup obviously has different ingredients in it, but it is using the same list of ingredients as the original makeup product, which if you think about that is also illegal, because if you're allergic to, for example, carmine, and you buy a counterfeit makeup product that uses the same ingredients list as the original makeup product, and the original makeup product doesn't have carmine in it, and they put carmine in their product, but it doesn't say it on the ingredients list because they're using the original makeup product ingredient list rather than their counterfeit product ingredient list, you're gonna end up using it and get, you know, an allergic reaction. So yeah, they're using essentially like super cheap products. Like for example, those Kylie lip kits, some of them had super glue in them, but obviously it wouldn't say in the ingredients list super glue. It would just copy and paste the Kylie ingredients from her website. So be careful, please don't buy counterfeit products. They're super dangerous. It's not just about saving money or not being able to afford luxury products. Trust me, you can get away with just using drugstore products. Drugstore products work super well, and I'd rather buy drugstore products that have slightly lower quality than having my lips super glued together or getting some kind of an infection. Whatever it is, please don't buy counterfeit products because you want an Hourglass palette or you want, I don't know, a Kylie lip kit. Please don't do that. It's a super big health and safety hazard. If you want a Jeffree Star palette, you either get it full price from Jeffree Star, or you try and look for a sale, get those codes and try and get a discount, or just buy something with a similar color scheme that is cheaper from like a cheaper brand like Elf or Wet n Wild. I know I'm banging on about this a lot, but I just feel like it's super like important to talk about because people don't realize how dangerous those products are, because they literally think it's just like drugstore makeup. It's not. Drugstore makeup is safe. It goes through all the quality checks and all the health and safety checks, whereas those counterfeit products don't. Please be careful when you're buying on eBay and Amazon. So recently, a plastic surgeon from Victorian Cosmetic Institute posted a video where he was talking about why he no longer does filler on people, like on the face. And he says it's because it doesn't look the way people make it seem like it looks. He says, you know, when you watch those videos on Instagram where they like fill in people's cheeks and they look super sharp, he's like, that's not how it looks permanently. So when you first like, you know, get the cheek filler or whatever it is, it looks great, it looks sharp and it looks, you know, prominent and whatever. But after a while, you have to kind of put more filler in places and then your face just looks bloated. It just looks like your face is like full of water and just kind of... He says that's why he doesn't fill in faces anymore, because people get the wrong impression of what that will look like. So he stopped doing filler in places. I think filler is such a... filler is the safest, I guess. It's not like you're going under anesthesia to get like a proper surgery done. It's literally like something you can do in 30 minutes. It's just a little boop boop. And if you don't like it, you can get it dissolved. But the thing is, people tend to, because it's so easy to do, people tend to go overboard with it. But that's not the problem. The problem is on the screen, he put up Jaclyn Hill from like 3 years ago and now. And thing is, right, so Jaclyn claims that she has no filler in her face anymore. It's just her lips and her nose. And she says that all of the bloating in her face is not from weight gain or filler, it is from her alcohol dependency. So then we have a professional saying that he thinks this is filler, like too much filler. And then we have Jaclyn Hill saying that she has no filler in her face, because for a while when she started posting those like pictures of herself, people kept on saying like, oh, you have too much filler in your face, you look like the cat lady. Yeah, just basically saying that she has too much filler in her face. And she kept on clapping back and saying, I have no filler in my face. I'm sick and tired of people telling me that I have filler in my face when I don't. It's literally alcohol dependency. And she filmed a video where, you know, she announced her Morphe collab while also saying that she has an alcohol dependency, and people kind of felt bad for her. And now there's this plastic surgeon saying, nope, that's filler. So I don't know who to believe. You know, I do want to believe that Jaclyn genuinely was being open and honest and saying that she has this alcohol dependency and that's why she looks the way she looks. But then we have this professional who doesn't really know the story, and from his like professional eye, he's saying that that's filler. It's such a tricky situation. Like, I don't want to think that Jaclyn is lying for attention. I don't, because I tend to want to believe people when they say kind of like these kinds of things about themselves. Like, I don't think, maybe because I would never use that kind of a story to sell people products, I expect other people to have the same human decency of not using alcohol dependency to sell products. But I don't know what goes on in people's heads, so I can't really vouch for Jaclyn and be like, she was 100% being honest and she was not just using it to sell products, because I don't know that, even though I wish I did. I still think deep in my heart that she did have this alcohol dependency and she's dealing with it now. But I know that people are saying there were a lot of like signs of her lying. For example, They said that the fact that she mentioned the alcohol dependency and then swiftly moved on to her releasing a new collab after a failed product launch. People are saying this could be used as like a pity, like, oh, feel bad for me, buy my product, even though I just sold you lipsticks with metal shards in them. And then people are saying when she filmed the collab with her boyfriend, she had a whole setup in the background that was centered around alcohol. People saying usually people with alcohol dependency don't want to have a whole decor set to do with alcohol. And then it was the Budweiser t-shirt that she wore on her Instagram. And then someone said, aren't you a recovering alcoholic? And in the comment section she said, no, I am not, which can be taken in a lot of different ways. I have been defending Jaclyn Hill over this because I do think that she is not lying. Maybe it's just me persuading myself that she is not lying. But if she is, wow, I will never, ever defend her ever again, because that is the lowest of low. But I hope that she is not lying, just deep in my heart. Next, Madison Beer. Madison Beer is a girl I spoke about recently. She's an Instagram model type person. She's also a singer that was discovered by Justin Bieber's manager when she was younger, and that's kind of how she blew up. She was also dating one of the Jack and Jack guys who were in MagCon, I believe. How do I know all of these things just off the top of my head? I spent too much time on the internet. So I recently spoke about the fact that she was once again, like clockwork, called out for Photoshop and not disclosing any cosmetic procedures that she's had done. But that is not the point of today's story. The point is, people are accusing her of staging a protest photo shoot. A lot of that has been happening. There have been multiple influencers that have been caught having a photo shoot mid-protest. So there was a girl that was like pretending to like screw those wooden panels on her store. So she was like helping out, like, and then she just left. Like, she didn't even attempt to like actually screw them in. She was like, and then there was another girl that was posing in like yoga pants and a sports bra in front of the shops, and she was like, and then she just left. And then there was another one in a dress, like she just stood in front of all the people and she went. But now Madison Beer, she had this situation happen. So she was posing on her Range Rover mid-protest, taking pictures, and there were paparazzi taking pictures of her. And then those pictures, ended up on the internet, on the person's page, like the paparazzi guy, and people are saying it looks super staged. Because if you think about it, Timothy Chalamet, Ariana Grande, Harry Styles, like they're all going to these protests, and you're telling me Ariana Grande does not have a single paparazzi picture of her? Not a single paparazzi picture taken of her. Ariana Grande, Mrs. 7 Rings and Thank You Next, does not have a single paparazzi picture, but Madison Beer does. Okay, fine. And then someone messaged the photographer and he said, so what if it's staged? Like, so what if it was planned? So that to me means it was planned, and so what? And she started tweeting out basically saying, like, you need to clarify this. People think that you're saying that it was planned. Yeah, that's what he said. He said, so what if it's planned? I don't know. To me, that picture looks super staged. And I also think she's not famous enough to just have paparazzi following her around and taking pictures of her. And apparently she's been called out before on calling paparazzi on her self. Like, she will go out somewhere and let the paparazzi know that she's going there. So like Hollywood Fix will follow her around. I don't know, to me that picture looks staged. I'm glad she's protesting. I'm glad she's been there for 4 days. I know she got tear gassed. I do think it's nice that she's protesting, but I think there is this like, even if this picture is not staged, just as an overall thing, there is this like, look at me doing all these good things thing happening right now. And yeah, I think this is one of those situations. Like, I'm glad she's doing like the protest, and she's clearly tweeting about these things, and she's paying out all the donations and the petitions and stuff. But I do think this is staged because it looks staged. And the fact that there are so many famous people going around those protests not having their professional pictures taken, and Madison Beer, like, I'm not trying to downplay her career, I'm really not, but Madison Beer. Okay, so that'll be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, anything you want to comment down below. Subscribe, hit that bell, you'll be notified when that's happening. Social media links and second channel in the description, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.